Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. Thank you for joining me wherever you are joining me. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. If you're joining me on the YouTube channel, make sure that you like, make sure that you subscribe. We are trying to head towards those, that 3,000 mark. We've hit a little bit of a lull. Haven't seen a new subscriber or a day where I didn't get a new subscriber in a long time. And I don't believe that I got a new subscriber yesterday. And that is, it's not concerning, but that is sad. So if you are listening and you have not subscribed and you know you listen all the time, do me a favor, go to the YouTube channel, Coach Gene Clemens, and make sure that you subscribe and follow everything that I do there when it comes to sports and entertainment. You know what? I'm really happy for Michele Tafoya. I'm really, really excited for her. See, unlike some who think that everything has to be hate, I believe there are some things that just needs to be. So imagine, if you will, if you've been Michele Tafoya, this white woman who is allegedly Indian or has Indian in her family, Native American in her blood, but it's never had to be brought to bear because of it, has always been looked at as a white woman, and has such, even as a white woman, had to work her way up and struggle her way up, but made it to the top position in football sideline reporting, only to have to suffer through covering people that she does not like. Michele Tafoya resigned or retired, because they said it was a retirement. She retired from the sideline reporting. Her last gig, the Super Bowl. So as all of these players are celebrating at the Super Bowl, all of these black faces everywhere during the Super Bowl, the only thing Michele Tafoya could think about was getting off that sideline, was getting off those stages, was being done with having to cover a people that she doesn't really think fondly of. And I remember she was retiring. I said, man, this is a quick little announcement and not really much fanfare. Just a, hey, Michelle's retiring. She's one of the best in the business. Thank you for everything you do. And she waved and smiled, didn't say anything. I've seen people who have a much less resume than Michele Tafoya get a bigger send-off. And then the report started coming out. Shout out to Black Sports Online. I don't particularly get down with a lot of the gossipy stuff that they do. But when you're right, you're right. They said Michele Tafoya retired from ESPN so that she could take up the MAGA cause. And then all of a sudden, videos started popping up of her and her opinions on Colin Kaepernick, and her opinions on critical race theory, which I'm not even sure if she knows what critical race theory is, or as a Native American, supposedly, why she would have a problem with people teaching history. And I contend, and I will always contend, I don't know who's teaching critical race theory in elementary and high school. Not at the public school. I can tell you, as a guy who has been to many public schools as a teacher, to a few private schools as a teacher, nobody has ever been teaching critical race theory. They barely talk about black people at all. They barely discuss Black history at all. I'm at a school right now where, outside of the things that I do in my morning, with my morning journalism class, so we do a spotlight of a figure in Black history, or an event in Black history. I have not seen one thing produced by the school on Black history. So I don't know where they're teaching critical race theory, but these people are so frightened by history, by the truth, that she's willing to give up her job as a sideline reporter, not just as a sideline reporter, as the sideline reporter, as the top sideline reporter. She's willing to give that job up so that she can talk about how awful this thing is. Imagine hating a people so much that you give up a job that you worked your entire life to get to the level of, that you are the sideline reporter in the Super Bowl, the sideline reporter at the Super Bowl, and yet everything in your mind tells you, I got to get out of here. Imagine being that person. Imagine looking at life that way. She, by the way, and this is the hubris of white privilege. She not only quit her job, the dream job, in order to engage or chase straw man arguments, but she did so and is going to make a ton of money to do so. What a country. What a country. So I applaud Michele Tafoya. You know why? Because I like to know who my racists are. I don't want the racists to stay in the background. I don't want the racists to hide themselves. I don't want the racists to find a way to work within the fabric of the world without being identified. I don't want to have to look over my shoulder and wonder. I just want to know. So I thank Michele Tafoya for giving me the opportunity to know who I shouldn't be messing with. There are so many fantastic sideline reporters out there. White, Black, Hispanic, Asian. There are so many great sideline reporters out there doing great work, who love what they're doing and love the people that they get to do it with. They love the people that they cover. And so we can let them do the job now. We don't want anybody to ever, not live their truth. And this is Michele's truth. I applaud Michele. I applaud her, because it does take a level of guts to just simply embrace who you are. It takes a level of, you know what, I'm going to be me, in order to embrace who you are, because that can come with obvious backlash. I don't think there's ever been a time that Michele Tafoya has been hated, that Michele Tafoya has been disliked by the African American community, by people of color. I guarantee you that time is over. There'll be people out there who still love her. Sage Still, she'll be out there. I'm sure Mike McDaniel down in Miami, the new head coach of Miami, will still love her. But it won't be many people. And you'll continue to see stories start trickling out as the true Michele Tafoya becomes truly unveiled, as she becomes the woman that she really wants to be, as she becomes the woman that she's probably always wanted to be, but knew that she could never ascend in her job if she did that. She has now been able to find a lane where she can be who she really is, where she can engage in the things that make her who she really is. And I applaud her. See, I want everybody to be happy. But I also want to know who I can and who I cannot trust. Like, I don't want you to, don't lie to me just for the sake of lying to me. Don't tell me that you're down when you're really not, just so you can do a job where you make millions of dollars off my people. And yes, I said my people because it's clear that we're not on the same side. And guess what? There are white people out there that I consider to be my people. And there are white people out there that consider me to be their people. And you know what they would never do? Say something stupid like, it breaks my heart that my kids are being taught that skin color matters. The better question is, why are you not teaching your kids that skin color matters? Why are you not teaching your kids, Michele Tafoya, that because they've been born as white kids, they will not have to face some of the obstacles that people of color have to face? If that's not what you're teaching, then I don't know what to tell you. Nobody else should have to teach your kid that. That should not be information that comes from someone else. That should be information that's taught in the home, if we're being honest about things, if we're being open, if we're telling the truth. At the end of the day, what is your purpose? And are you embracing who you are? Clearly, Michele Tafoya is. Really quickly, the NBA is a crazy place, and as a Lakers fan, I feel it important to say that I think that the Lakers may be done this year. I will still applaud, I will still root, I will still hold out hope, but I fear that if Anthony Davis is going to continue to be injured, with the way that the roster is constructed, they cannot absorb him being injured for long unless LeBron does something remarkable, something that he's capable of doing, but at his age and with his miles, might actually take another year off of his career. So I was really thinking that the Lakers are primed to make a run after the All-Star game. If there's going to be no Anthony Davis, there's going to be no run. I'm sorry. And shout out to those teams and shout out to those players that play their way instead of the right way. The right way, and I say that with quotes. In basketball, a lot of times we hear, oh, he plays the game the right way. They play the game the right way. Well, guess what? What if the right way is getting your head beat in? Because the right way to play basketball used to be to have a big man, a dominant big man who manned the post. You got the ball inside. Everything went through them. You worked inside out. You played the half-court game. That used to be the way the game was supposed to be played the right way. When I was in high school, we tried that my sophomore year, my first year in high school. We tried that. And we got our heads beat in. The next 2 years, we played our way. No real legitimate big man. Athletes all over the place, running up and down the court, and we won 2 district titles back to back. The Golden State Warriors, no real legitimate big man, 72 wins. The Miami Heat, no real legitimate point guard, 2 guys that essentially play the exact same way, no real legitimate big man, that man on the block. Finals 4 years in a row, 2 championships. And so on and so on and so on. We see teams all the time buck, because now the trend is get you a bunch of shooters, jack up 1,000,000 threes. The percentages say a 3 is more valuable than a 2. So you're going to do 3 and D guys, and you're going to do layups and threes. And that's great until you've got guys who really are not that good at shooting, until you have a team trying to be Golden State that's not Golden State, and they're getting their head beat in. You gotta embrace who you are. Play your way. Don't play the right way. Play your way. And if your way gets it done, guess what? Then you're right. And if your way doesn't get it done, guess what? It's time to make changes. If your way doesn't get it done, try the right way. If the right way doesn't get it done, try another way. Sitting in mediocrity just because you want to do things the way that it's supposed to be done might be the dumbest stuff ever. We have to be willing to be bold enough to be who we are. Embrace it. Because in many instances, we only get one opportunity at this thing. And if we don't get it done, that's it. We're labeled. We're labeled forever. So we have to make sure that we're willing to go down doing things the way that we know is the right way. Not the way other people have told us is the right way. The way we know is the way that we're going to have the best opportunity for success. Because if we're not, then we're wasting time. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. We do this thing a few times a week. Rate the show. Comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. If you're joining me on the YouTube channel, make sure you are subscribing. Got to get that subscriber count to start moving again. Let's get it moving. Till next time. Peace.